Hello and welcome. Today, Mapping Climate Justice at University of Oxford, at the Martin School of Oxford University, at the celebrating 20 years of population aging research at University of Oxford. And here, Mapping Climate Justice is introduced in a nutshell. It's the basic idea that global warming is putting different pressures around the world. Some countries are gaining from a warming Earth, other countries are losing from a warming Earth. And the idea of the Mapping Climate Justice project is to find three different pillars of fairness regarding a warming Earth. The first pillar is climate fairness within a society. This is the idea that there should be potentially a progressive taxation in order to raise funds for offsetting climate change mitigation and adaptation costs. On the other hand, there might be an interesting strategy to have an inheritance tax for corporate transovers in order to have a retroactive taxation of those who have caused the Earth to warm. And there should be, of course, a consumption tax for curbing CO2 emissions and to catch those who are contributing more to a warming Earth. Climate justice between countries conveys the argument that if you see the medium temperature around the globe on Earth in the different countries, and if you have the prospect of a 4.25% degrees climate change until 2100, you can see that countries have completely different levels of GDP output prospects in a warming Earth, and given by where they are on the Earth. And here the basic argument is to have a transfer scheme to transfer from those countries, from those GDP sectors that will win from a warming Earth, to those countries that are losing from climate change. And the third pillar is climate justice in between countries. That's the basic idea that you would raise creatively raise funds through climate bonds, and then have a Pareto optimal solution in between generations, so that the current generation would raise funds potentially by taxing the current climate change winning industries in those areas of the world that are winning from a warming Earth. These funds would be then used not only to offset the costs of climate change mitigation and adaptation, but also used in order to create positive market incentives. So the current race to the bottom to produce the cheaper with sometimes very unclean energy could be completely shifted to a race to the top if the funds would be used in order to incentivize corporations to transition into green or new energy solutions. And with that, you would create a race to the top that companies would compete over more subsidies, and by going greener, they could have a competitive edge in the market. And this is basically, in a nutshell, the three different ideas and pillars that are conveyed in the Mapping Climate Justice project, hosted in New York at Columbia University and the New School, and the Schwartz Center for Economic Policy Analysis. And it is a pleasure and honor to present these ideas today at the celebrating 20 years of population aging research conference at the University of Oxford.